Are you about to give us Chioma chats? Thank you for helping me focus my camera. All right, good job, baby. Thank you.
Hey y'all, I'm back with another video. So tonight's video is yet again another Chioma Chats video on camera edition. I'm so glad that I can get on camera and I'm just happy like right now. For some reason, I'm just so happy. By the time y'all see this, I would have traveled. I'm going to Nigeria today. So I'll be gone for a little bit. So I probably won't get to be on camera as much, but I definitely will have a lot of free time since it technically is a vacation to do more podcast style videos. So just wanted to throw that out there just in case I'm missing in action. Catch me in Niger, okay? I'll be all over Nigeria and I can't wait. Before we talk about this hip hop rap beef, I want to talk about my rap music. I have been announcing that all of my music is back on streaming. So if you're somebody that likes Queen Chioma music and you've been trying to figure out what happened to my songs, they're back on all streaming platforms. So if you listen to me on Apple Music, Spotify, wherever, definitely go stream my songs. I don't know what to drop this summer. I don't know if I should just drop all the songs that I've previewed onto one little EP or drop some Afrobeats. I want to do Afrobeats / Amapiano, but maybe I'll just give you guys a whole bunch of music this summer because I feel like a lot of y'all have been waiting for like years. Like I started doing music in like 2021 for real. So a lot of y'all have been waiting. You guys asked me about songs that I've previewed, but it has to come out at some point. So I really want this summer to be the summer for that. Stay tuned and definitely stream my music. Now today's video is talking about this iconic, and I feel like it's iconic rap beef between Drake and between Kendrick Lamar. We have Drake that's repping Toronto, Canada, and we have Kendrick Lamar that's coming out of Cali. And I just think that this is literally our generations for Gen Z. This is our staple rap beef because I've never seen anything like this. I heard some comments saying like, oh, this is not iconic. This is just another rap beef, but you will never see big name artists really take it there, hit below the belt, go back and forth, drop songs, drop this song, then this song, then respond. That usually doesn't happen, and it hasn't happened in our Gen Z adult lifetime for real. So I'm happy to be able to experience this. I think this is historical for rap music, and I think all of this is just very telling of where rap is just all together. Like I'm not trying to get too deep, but honestly, a lot of people have been asking for rap music to become a lot more talent-based and less gimmicky. And I think both of these very talented artists, because I like both, they're showing that rap is really a sport and it's an art form. And I think this is true expression and true representation of that. Most of the stuff that we hear, especially nowadays, are all fun TikTok club songs. And it's like, there's a space for that, but there should also be a space for people like Kendrick Lamar and even Drake to exist in the masses. So I'm happy to see it. As someone that's been very critical of rap music, especially as of recent, this is what I've been asking for and I'm finally getting it. So I'm a happy camper and I hope that everyone has been enjoying this beef if you've been invested into it. So I'm gonna break down just where this all started. I'm gonna get into some of the lyrics that I thought were very jarring and just stood out to me. And then I'm just gonna give my overall conclusion on all of this. So I've broken this video down into 3 overall main talking points. So without further ado, let's get right into this video. So my first point is talking about how this all started. I mean, I know that a lot of this beef stems from years ago. Like Drake and Kendrick Lamar have been dissing each other for a very long time. However, this is like a new battle within this war. And I think that the war is either over, or at least at this moment, we can say that somebody definitely won. Now, I'm not gonna make y'all wait until deep into the video. I definitely think Kendrick Lamar is up right now. I think he won this. I feel like Drake is the expected winner, but this is like if Muhammad Ali ever lost in this battle, because you just didn't expect it. It was almost like people thought that Kendrick Lamar was supposed to be more of an undercard role, but in reality, no. He just doesn't post that much. He's not as active, and I don't see anything wrong with that. I mean, if you're living in your riches and you know that you have proven that your talent in rap music is what it is, I don't necessarily see that he has to keep coming back out with more and more things. However, I'm glad that we've been getting a lot of Kendrick content because it just goes to show that there are real rappers that are still existing. Maybe they're not what the industry is pushing right now, but they are there. So back in the day, Kendrick and Drake used to be cool. They have collaborative songs. They've done a lot of work together in the past. And I'm talking 10 plus years ago. None of this is even recent. But of course, I think when it comes to rap music, a lot of it is ego driven, whether you're one of the talented, more lyrical artists, or if you're one of the people that just does it for popularity. And I think with Drake, you can kind of say he's kind of both, because in all honesty, Drake is not a bad artist. Like nobody can ever say that Drake is just a gimmick and he just made it off the strength of not having talent. No, this man is very talented, which is why he's been able to reign as one of the best people all of these years. And I think that just goes to show that you have to have substance at the end of the day, because people can pull down the curtains and see who you truly are. And Drake is being kind of exposed right now. But both artists used to have a friendship. They used to be cool. But I think that ego aspect of what rap is, and then seeing people be popularized and promoted over you, definitely played a role as to how we got here. So Drake and J. Cole, who is considered part of their big three, Drake, J. Cole, and Kendrick are like the big three. These are the rappers that people hail as the pinnacle of rap success in this new age of hip hop. And they've all collaborated. All three of them have been revered as top rap talent. So Drake and J. Cole did a song called First Person Shooter, in which I feel like this kind of was the catalyst, because Kendrick is quiet, you know what I'm saying? Kendrick is like in the Dora the Explorer show, he's a grumpy old troll who lives under the bridge. Like, he's one of those. I'm not saying he's a grumpy old troll, but I'm just saying, like, he just stays tucked. You know, he's not really for the camera, he's not for publicity, he's not for what rap is supposed to bring. He just literally stays quiet, drops his songs, has his core fan base, and then puts it out there. So Drake and J. Cole dropped First Person Shooter, and it's literally like, okay, shots fired, because J. Cole did say big three, just kind of referencing all of them, but we know that Drake and Kendrick do not like each other and have had this ongoing beef for a very long time. So then in comes Future, who also has beef with Drake, and I think that was a revelation of this year, because people just didn't expect that. I mean, Drake and Future have collaborative albums, they have so many club bangers, they have so many hit songs that aren't even club bangers, they have a lot of content that they've created together as hip-hop artists, and they're definitely in that top realm. And so I don't think people expected them to fall out. And I do think it's interesting that, like, when it comes to Drake, a lot of people aren't rocking with him. I don't know if it's just this age of Aquarius where people are cleaning house, or if Drake genuinely did something, or maybe all of these people are jealous. I don't know. Let me know y'all's theories below. But Future and Drake no longer get along. So Future collaborates with his in-house producer, which is Metro Boomin. They add Kendrick Lamar as a feature to their song Like That. Now, I feel like That was actually a really good song. Like, it was more of that club banger type, and I feel like this awoken the beast in Kendrick, because he came on there and he was snapping. I was like, okay. And I heard the song and I was just like, okay, this is very Future, very Metro Boomin and Future, but Kendrick Lamar definitely added some lyrical embellishments in there, and it was just like, okay, kind of unexpected, but that's when things kind of got the ball rolling. So J. Cole makes a response, and then he decides to delete it because he said that he didn't feel right in his spirit to make that song. Now, tell me what you guys feel about that, because at the end of the day, this is hip hop, and I feel like hip hop is very lethal, it's very brutal. I feel like people are saying like, oh, he just bowed out, he didn't want that smoke, but at the end of the day, let's not act like J. Cole hasn't said what he said. I mean, you did a song with Drake, who is arch nemesis with Kendrick Lamar, so maybe he just said, hey, I'm chucking the deuces, I'm out of here, but he definitely made his response and then said, you know what, I'm done. So I don't know if there was calls behind the scenes where J. Cole was just told like, hey buddy, you might not want to do this one, but he did make his response, but then technically he's out of the equation moving forward. So then Drake responds to Kendrick with this song called Push-Ups, and I did like Push-Ups. You know, I like that drop and give me 50, drop and give me 50, and I like the fact that it also was a club banger. And I think Drake's big claim to how he does his lyricism in his songs, whether he's just making a song or responding to someone, it always will hit in the club. And I think that's one of Drake's trademarks, because he's able to really take songs and lyrics and beats and really make it digestible for a lot of people. And at the end of the day, Drake's core audience, I think, are people around his age, but definitely a lot of younger people. Like, I would definitely say people that are more in their early and mid and late 20s more than anything. Of course, people closer to his age, because when he first came out, he was younger, but I think those are the people that really take a liking to him. And that group of people are still, like, you know, in the clubs having fun, like in their hot girl city boy era. So I think that's what he appeals to, and a lot of his songs do reflect that demographic's interest. So there was some lyrics in that. Drake says, I could never be no one's #1 fan. Your first #1, I had to put it in your hand. You poom pooms can't get booked outside of America for Nan. I'm out in Tokyo because I'm big in Japan. I'm the hit maker y'all depend on. Backstage in my city, it was friend zone. You won't never take no chain off of us. How the F you big stepping with a size 7 men's on. I mean, he came for Kendrick, and the jab is that Kendrick is small, he's a little guy, and it's just like, oh, Dito. You know what I'm saying? It's just like he's trying to little boy him, trying to son him, and it's crazy because they're the same age. But it's just like, okay, Drake, you responded. And I think people would have thought that it ended there, but Kendrick was like, no, Drake, I've been waiting for this moment. It's time for me to step. So Drake also talked about Kendrick Lamar's collaborations with Maroon 5. He talked about his collaborations with Taylor Swift. And this may be an unpopular opinion, but I don't really see how you can be pro-black, but then people say like, oh, you can't collaborate with white artists. I mean, I don't see a problem with it. I still think you could be pro-black and still collaborate with artists within your genre, within your career, this industry. It's not like Kendrick is saying that he prefers that type of music or he's more invested into that, because Drake has collaborated with a whole bunch of people as well. So Drake also comes for The Weeknd, basically saying that he buys things for men. And there's this reoccurring notion that Drake puts into his songs, basically saying that The Weeknd is gay. Like, that's all I've been hearing. He was talking about his sexuality a lot. And it's kind of crazy coming from Drake, who I feel like Drake doesn't, to me, give off like full-blown masculinity. And it's not because of his skin color or race or anything. It's just because of how he is, his mannerisms, and his personality. So it's like, I'm not saying they're gay, but it's kind of like the pot calling the kettle black. So Drake also comes for Kendrick's manager as well. He also comes for Kendrick's baby mother and fiance, which was just very disrespectful. And he also came for Rick Ross, who used to be a CO, a correctional officer. And there's this joke that Rick Ross being a correctional officer in his past is like making him less of a tough guy or less hood, less street credit, because essentially you used to work for the feds is basically what they throw at him. And it's like, okay, it's true. I do like it as a jab, I'm not gonna lie. So then after that, Drake drops another one called Tailor Made Freestyle. And in this one, he's leaving no stone unturned and he's still coming for everybody. So in this one, he uses AI generated voices of Snoop Dogg and Tupac. But unfortunately for Drake, the song got taken down because Tupac's estate sued Drake saying that they didn't like the use of Tupac's voice, his imagery, his likeness. So we don't hear this one anymore. So it's kind of like, Drake, that was like your first little, you know, notch of maybe a loss is coming, because okay, you try to put that song out and I get where you were going, but at the end of the day, you got to go through the right people. You got to go through the right channels. And unfortunately for Drake, that did not work out. So then Kendrick comes back after 17 days. People are thinking like, oh, he's not going to say anything. Drake won. Drake is the superior. He's the champion. Give him the belt. Kendrick comes back and drops Euphoria, which in my opinion is one of the best diss songs I've ever heard. I mean, from start to finish, just the investment that I had listening to the song and just the overall way that he attacked Drake, you could tell he took his time. Everything was very meticulously placed and I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I was like, dang, Kendrick, I didn't know you had it in you, but I was here for it. I was definitely here for it. And the song title of Euphoria shows Drake's correlation to the show Euphoria. Now people are saying when you Google Euphoria, the only thing that comes up is like Kendrick's song. So maybe that was very intentional to kind of draw that attention away from Drake. Euphoria is allegedly supposed to come back in 2025 or 2026. At this point, they could have it. But at the same time, Kendrick, that was definitely a cool chess move. So then Kendrick dropped 616. And I think this one is when people started saying, no, this is getting real serious. Like Euphoria was crazy, the response, but 616 right after that Euphoria was like, hold on, there's more. And then this one, it was like slower, melodic. But I think this is Kendrick showing his versatility and who he was as an artist. The title has so many different references and I definitely noted them. People are saying that 616 is Tupac's birthday, the day the show Euphoria came out. And in many of Drake's song titles, he puts different like times in there. So I kind of feel like it was a play on Drake's songs and just kind of throwing his stuff back in his face. So Kendrick talks about how OVO was not loyal to Drake and how there's many people on the OVO team that's waiting for Drake's downfall. And I feel like there has to be somebody in the background at OVO that's feeding information to Kendrick, because how did he know so much information that was said in Euphoria, let alone all of these diss songs? So then Drake comes back and he drops Family Matters. And I'm not gonna lie, I was like, okay, Drake, you know what I'm saying? You still in there. Like, you're really still in there. Euphoria was crazy. I still felt like that was the best. But Family Matters to me was like, okay, you really about to come and address all of this. Not everything, because he definitely left a lot of stuff on the table. And I liked the back and forth because it was quick this time. Like, we waited at first just to test the temperature of everything, but now they're coming back with quick jabs, and now the fight is getting a little bit more active. People are standing up in their seats. The crowd is roaring. The boxers are in the ring going in with jabs, two-piece, left hook, right hook. Well, left hook, right hook. And now you're like, okay, let's really get active. Like, y'all already got it shaken, but let's really get active and declare a winner, because we're in that last 10th round of the fight. And you could tell that Drake was mad in Family Matters. Like, whatever Kendrick said in Euphoria definitely woke up a different beast in Drake. So he's coming out with the wildest claims. He's saying that Kendrick abused his wife, which is like, nobody would have ever guessed, because again, they're so low key, but at the same time, their imagery of what their love is being that, okay, they are fiance and fiance, they haven't been married yet, but yet and still, that's not something that you always see from a rapper. A lot of these rappers are grown as hell and they're still running around with different flavors of the week and they haven't settled down. But Kendrick Lamar counters that imagery with his fiance. So it's just like, to hear that, wow, there may be some trouble in paradise, was just crazy, because nobody would have known. He then says that Kendrick Lamar makes slave music, which I felt like was one of those things where you thought it was going to be a hit and then everyone's looking like crazy side eye, because to say that as somebody that has really no ties to American culture, I mean, you grew up in Canada, so the lineage and the history that Black Americans faced through slavery and things like that doesn't apply to Drake. I mean, yes, his father is from Memphis, so his father is a Black American, but at the same time, Drake was raised by a single white mother, a Jewish mother in Canada. So it's like your ties to that has not always been thoroughly within you. You didn't grow up kind of understanding that part of your lineage. So to say that another Black man makes slave music is very, very disrespectful, but I feel like it's not the disrespect that we wanted in a diss. It's kind of like, it was one of those things that was kind of tone deaf and didn't really hit the way how I think Drake thought it was. I think people were gonna clown him and say, oh yeah, Drake is the popular one, he's the catchy one, he's the fun one, he's the club banger, he's the pretty boy, he's the jock, and Kendrick is this lame who is the community hero, the student body president, the one who cares about nature, the one that's always advocating, maybe the captain of the debates team. So it's just kind of like, you try to throw like that, oh, he's a nerd card, but it didn't really hit. So he also says, of course, that Kendrick Lamar is unfaithful in addition to the abuse claims. And then he says that Kendrick is not the Black Messiah. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, you know, Kendrick Lamar drops here and there and I liked his music, but did he ever claim to be the Black Messiah? Let me know. If he did, okay. If he didn't, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if that was Drake just saying something or if that was actually him trying to tell Kendrick that what you claim to be and what you've said is not who you truly are. So then after that, things get way worse for Drake and Kendrick drops Meet the Grams. And I feel like this one was like, oh my God, like I'm sitting here like there's no way somebody just went this crazy. We're not even talking like, okay, we're throwing jabs at you one-on-one. Now we're really bringing other people into it because now he's directly addressing everybody that made Drake who he is, from his parents to his children to his alleged secret 11-year-old daughter, which is a whole conspiracy on its own. I'm not going to touch too much into that. The craziest things you could have ever heard someone say about someone in their family, Kendrick said it. And I'm sitting here like, okay, this is where it gets sticky. Like, no pun intended, Drake, you know how sticky it gets. Like, you know how sticky it gets. It was getting real sticky. Like, I was feeling like Sticky from the Proud Family. It's sticky right now. So he talks about how his father is a horrible person, his mother is a horrible person, that basically he just hates everything about their family. He addresses the 11-year-old daughter, saying that Drake should be there. The 11-year-old daughter that people are alleging is his daughter just turned 11. And that's when Kendrick was dropping all this music literally on her birthday. So if this little girl truly is Drake's daughter and she does exist, I find that to be so crazy because obviously Drake wasn't there. He was too busy playing ping pong rap beef with Kendrick Lamar and not there for this alleged daughter. But he was like, you know, he should be watching Frozen with you. He should be showing up to your birthday. He should be teaching you this, and he's not. And there's been a lot of women over the years that have come out and said that Drake fathered their baby. And I've heard the rumors that, you know, Drake does have children, or maybe it's that he's had a lot of women pregnant and then he tells them that they have to get abortions. I just think it's crazy. I mean, it's not unbelievable though to me, because at the end of the day, Drake is almost 40 years old. So to me, it kind of like makes sense that at this point of his life, he probably has a kid, especially as a rapper living that rapper lifestyle, and especially where he is. I mean, he is the pinnacle of rap and hip hop as it is commercially, maybe not through the culture and what the culture truly is about, but where his placement in hip hop is and has been for a long time. You know that Drake has got himself around and around and around and around, okay? Now there's more to this. Kendrick also talks about Drake taking Ozempic, and we all know that Drake has definitely changed his appearance. Shout out to my girl Yanni. She did this, I don't know if I want to call it an expose, but we'll just call it an expose on a lot of y'all's favorite rappers and just the different cosmetic work that the men have gotten done. We always talk about the women, you know, the BBL package, the lip fillers, the implants, and all the different things that they do to themselves. But a lot of these men have also gotten money and changed their appearance, hence why they look better than ever than what they did when they first came out. And Drake is no stranger to that. Drake definitely has, you know, some form of, I don't know if it's BBL drizzy like they're saying, but he definitely has gotten work done. You can see the differences in his face, his body, his physique, everything. So he's just saying that, look, Drake took Ozempic to lose weight, which a lot of celebrities are doing, so it's not really far-fetched that that could possibly be true. Again, this is all alleged, even though Kendrick had that song cover where he allegedly showed Drake's alleged Ozempic prescription bottle. And I'm just like, how do y'all even get this information? Like, I would hate to be in the ring with any of these people. I think I'm a rapper and I can write and whatnot, but you know what I'm saying? If it ever comes down to war, yeah, this is a little much for me. But hey, we don't duck no rap, okay? I'm from Philly at the end of the day. Kendrick also mentions that LeBron James and Steph Curry's daughters or just the family should stay away from Drake, because now here comes the pedophilia allegations about Drake. Now there are so many conspiracies, so many different snippets, interviews, concert footage, things that Drake has said, just different things that we've all seen where Drake has interacted with younger women. I mean, I even did a story a few weeks ago about how Drake was dating Latto's little sister, who was only 20 or 21 years old, and he's 38. And granted, she's of age, she's legal, but it's still weird to me. And that's when people say, oh, well, they're old enough, I still look at it crazy, because if you are okay with dating someone who is just like just now being able to buy a backwood and just now being able to like buy their own drinks, I mean, I don't think it's far-fetched to say that you might go lower than that. I'm not saying that's everybody, but I'm just saying if you're gonna date that young, somebody that is significantly younger than you, and I'm talking 10 plus years, then I don't think it's too far-fetched to say that you've gone underage with the minor category. So then after that, you would have thought that Kendrick took his foot off of Drake's neck, but he said, no, I'm still going. He then drops 9 Not Like Us. And I feel like this was just the bow on the coffin, the cherry on top, just, you know, everything on the ice cream sundae that we needed, was the fact that he really dropped a club banger, because there was a lot of people saying that, okay, Kendrick Lamar, he's making music, but it's boring. It's always so soft and lyrical. You got to appeal to the audience. So that's exactly what he did. That Not Like Us DJ Mustard beat, you know, Cali was in the building with that. He got a DJ Mustard beat. And I was just like, yup. That did it for me. I was sitting there feeling like this was 2014. I was hitting the gas pedal. I was like, they not like us. They not like us. They not like us. Oh, we ho, oh, we ho, oh, we ho. They not like us. I was hitting that. I was hitting the red nose. I was in there hitting the red nose and some more stuff. I'm like, this is Cali for real. And I was like, yo, at this point, I don't know if there's anything Drake can say back to this. You know, I would love to hear more, because I feel like, Drake, you have it in you. You're definitely a really good artist, and you've just proved yourself. I mean, he was going in, and I felt like with the whole Family Matters song, it was really, really good. But Kendrick just kind of did the overloader on Drake and just said, hey, one last punch to the temple, you gotta go down, buddy. So in Not Like Us, there was just a lot more allegations about Drake, his character, who he is, you know, why he doesn't like Drake, and just kind of teasing him. You could tell that this one was just like, oh, I'm teasing. Euphoria, he came crazy. He was going in, but this one is now like, okay, I'm really teasing you. I'm really just throwing jabs and smiling and winking in your face a little bit. I feel like this is the new Cali Cha-Cha slide. I know this one's gonna get played a lot during the summer. When it came to showing your versatility on being lyrical, but also appealing to different audiences, different genres, different beat styles, he definitely did that with Not Like Us. So moving on to my second point is just talking about the lyrics in these diss songs. This to me was what I wanted to really dive into. So we're gonna just go right into it and kind of just dissect some of the lyrics, or just give my thoughts on some of the ones that stood out to me. So I'm only gonna do Euphoria, and then I'm gonna do Family Matters, and then I'm gonna do Not Like Us, because I feel like those were the three that a lot of people really tuned into and was really the more commercialized songs within this whole entire back and forth. So with Euphoria, you know, I like how it started off slow and poetic. You know, it was kind of just was like, ooh, where's he about to go with this? And then that beat drop just gave that catalyst, like, oh, okay. And I think that shock value is what the viewers and the listeners really needed to hear. So Kendrick says, Tommy Hilfiger stood out, but FUBU has never been in your collection. And that was Kendrick saying like, oh, you're not black enough. You know, you don't resonate with us. So this is all new for you, Drake. You know what I'm saying? You didn't just grow up in this culture. You didn't come and be from the hood, or even if you weren't from the hood, you just don't have that lineage or that understanding of what it means to be a black man. So I was just like, where we about to go? Okay. So then Kendrick says, the first time I shot me a Drake, the homie had told me to aim it this way. I didn't point down enough. Today I'll show you I learned from those mistakes. Somebody had told me that you got a ring. On God, I'm ready to double the wage. I'd rather do that than let a Canadian naker make Pac turn in his grave. And as you know, Drake purchased Tupac's ring for like $1 million, and then he sampled Tupac in his song that got taken down, and Kendrick wasn't feeling that, so he had to come back and be like, nah, like, I'd rather go toe to toe with you. I'd rather just turn it up than let you disrespect Tupac, who was definitely representing the West Coast back in the day. So next he said, yeah, Cole and RB know I'm a selfish naker. The crown is heavy, huh? I pray they my real friends. If not, I'm YNW Melly. And as we know, YNW Melly has been on trial for basically offing two of his friends. So I like to play on words. You know, that was a good one. That was a good one, Kendrick. I like that. Then he says, I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk. I hate the way that you dress. I hate the way that you sneak this. If I catch a flight, it's gonna be direct. So it's right here that Kendrick is literally showing how much he hates Drake. And I thought that, like, I hate the way you hate the way you hate the way you, like, it really just showed, yeah, I really don't like you. You know what I'm saying? I want this to be direct. I don't want you to think like I'm sub dissing or sneak dissing or anything like that. I want you to know that I do not like you at all. Now, the next thing that I was like mouth dropped to the floor, like literally, oh my goodness, was when he said, when I see you stand by Sexy Red, I believe you see two bad bees. I believe you don't like women. It's real competition. You might pop with him. And I was like, like, he was just coming for Drake's juggler, and I was just like, yo, this is hip hop. This is battle rap hip hop. You know, there's different type of sectors of hip hop, but when it comes to battle rap, this is battle rap for sure. So then he says, why would I call around trying to get dirt on nakers? Y'all think my life is rap? That's hoe-ish. I got a son to raise, but I can see you don't know none about that. The whole none about that, like, that was just like, oh, like, speechless. Okay, moving. I don't even want to say too much. Speechless. And then the next thing he said was, pick a naker off one of a time with it. We can be on the 3-hour time difference. The 3-hour time difference was just like, oh yeah, he right for sure, because you got to be lyrical to say something like that. They said, don't speak on the family, Crody. It can get deep in the family, Crody. Talk about me and my family, Crody. Someone gonna bleed in your family, Crody. I be at New How King eating fried rice with a dip sauce and a blammy, Crody. Tell me your cheese and bomb. We can do this right now on the camera, Crody. oh my goodness, like what? Okay, so I had to like figure out what was crody, but I guess it's just like the Canadian way of saying like bro, what's up, brody, bro, crody, whatever. And then the Canadian accent was just like, aha. I'm sorry, Drake, but Euphoria, I would hate if that was directed towards me. I really would. I might have to bow out or just take a break and come back next year. And then the last thing was, we don't want to hear you say Naker no more. Now, let me quickly say this, because a lot of times I say Naker, people think I'm saying the N-word with a hard R. Are you dumb? Are you dumb? Why would I say the N-word with a hard R as a black person? No, I don't use the N-word on YouTube. I just say Naker, N-A-K-E-R. So, but yeah, just him repeating that at the end with the stop and that monotone when the beat drop, like ended it. Okay. So let's move on to Family Matters. So Drake drops a response called Family Matters, and I was just like, I liked it because at the end of the day, it was long enough, it was deep enough, and it switched up enough to the point where I was interested in all three parts of this song. And I feel like he did a very good job responding. I just feel like it didn't hit as hard as Euphoria because it still gave Drake. Euphoria didn't give Kendrick. It gave Kendrick 2.0, or just a different version of Kendrick. But Family Matters just gave Drake and what we already know him to be. So it's kind of like, okay, we expected you to do this and you did good, but it really wasn't hard or different than what we know you for. But I did like how he used the first person shooter part of his song, like, you know, drop a couple, like I like that part, you know what I'm saying? That part is really catchy. And he came from The Weeknd as well as A$AP Rocky again in this one. And I was just like, okay, Drake just wants smoke with everybody who doesn't like him. So let's get into these lyrics. So he says, out here begging for attention, Nakers say please, always rapping like you about to get the slaves freed. You just acting like an activist, it's make believe. Don't even go back to your hood or plant no money trees. And I feel like this one was like polarizing because the whole like you make slave music, I just feel like it was one of those things that honestly a white person would say, because it's just like, who would be mad at someone for making slave music knowing the history and the deep rooted issue that slavery brought within the Black American culture for decades, hundreds, centuries of years? Like, who makes a joke about that? I mean, I know it's rap, but I just don't think that it offended Kendrick. I think Kendrick probably laughed at it and said, haha, dummy, you know what I'm saying? So then Drake says, I've been with black and white and everything that's in between. You the black messiah wifing up a mixed queen. I was like, oh, I was driving too. I was like, oh, hold on now. Then he continues and says, and hit vanilla ice cream to help out with your self-esteem, saying that he's been with white women. On some Bobby-ish, I want to know what Whitney need. That was a clever bar because, you know, obviously Whitney Houston, Bobby Brown, and then Kendrick Lamar's fiance's name is Whitney. He continues and said, you did her dirty all her life. You trying to make peace. I heard that one of them kids might be day free. And I was just like, oh, Dre, you nasty. You nasty for that one. That was crazy. But basically what he's saying is day free, who was in Kendrick Lamar's camp, might be the father to Kendrick Lamar's son, I believe. And I just feel like that one was definitely just throwing something at the wall and hoping that it sticks, because like I don't think anybody would believe that, you know what I'm saying? That one is really just kind of like an allegation for real. I feel like people probably would have figured that out by now, but you never know, you know what I'm saying? You never know. But I just don't think it's true personally, not even trying to be biased. I just kind of feel like that's one of those things where you're like, you could have kept up with the, okay, he beat her and he cheated. That one is more believable than saying that this woman's son belongs to a whole nother man that isn't Kendrick Lamar. Like, I don't know. I just didn't believe that one. So then he continues and he says, what the F, I heard Rick drop Naker, talking something about a nose job, Naker. Ozempic got a side effect of jealousy and the doctor never told y'all Nakers. Now, this one was kind of crazy because it's like, okay, you're actually addressing what they're saying about you. You're addressing the Ozempic. You saw the cover art. You saw what people are saying. I mean, he addressed it, you know what I'm saying? But it kind of sounds like you were admitting to it. Like, Ozempic got a side effect with jealousy and you guys are jealous of Drake, or everybody's jealous of Drake. So it's like, are you on Ozempic or not? You know what I'm saying? Which one is it? Then he says, Rakim, who is A$AP Rocky, but he says, Rakim talking ish again. Gas cause you hit my BM first. Naker, do the math. Who was I hitting then? I ain't even know you rap still cause they only talking about your fit again. Then he talks about how he can't be relevant unless he has a kid again. I don't even know the history of Drake and A$AP Rocky's beef, because I remember there was an interview that A$AP Rocky did saying that Drake was the only person to like co-sign him and believe in him and try to put him on when he first started his career. So I don't really know. I just kind of feel like at this point A$AP Rocky doesn't even care to be a rapper. I think he's more of the, I don't even want to say family man, but he's very happy being Rihanna's baby daddy. Okay. Next up, he says, these Nakers had a plan and they finally found a way to rope you into it. 2 separate albums dissing. I just did a Kim to it. Nakers skimmed through it. I like that. Kim skims, Kim Kardashian, she on skims. I like that. Drake, I like that. I like that. I feel like a lot of people wouldn't like pick out that bar, but I like that bar because it was clever and it made sense and I instantly got it. Next up, he says, says, Ross calling me the white boy and the ish kind of got a ring to it because all these rappers waving white flags while the whole effing club sing to it. Okay. Murder scene on your man tonight, then come to the vigil with the candlelight. Body after effing body, and you know Rick reading my Miranda rights. Come on now, Drake. Let's go. I like that one because it's just like, as much as you can like or dislike Rick Ross, that is his history. And I feel like throwing that like, oh, you're a cop, you're the police joke at him after Rick Ross did diss Drake, I just thought it was clever. I liked it. I can't lie. I liked it. Then he says, I'm going on vacation now. Hope next time y'all plan it right because you got to pay for saying my name. Guess now Nakers understand the price. And I wanted to point this one out because I kind of feel like he was kind of bowing out thinking like, oh yeah, I did my big one. Not knowing that Kendrick was about to release like Thanos 5-gem combo on him. And then on top of that, he also was making it seem like, okay, well, I'm paid, I'm rich, I'm the best. And it's like, Drake, this is a rap battle. Nobody cares about money in this one. We care about, can you actually rap, and are your bars going to be lethal enough to really hurt people's feelings? We don't care how many people come see your shows. We don't care how much money you're getting paid. We don't care about your booking fee. Who's the better rapper? That's all people want to see in this one. Next up, he says, you want to take up for Pharrell, then come get his legacy out of my house. A cease and desist is for hoes. Can't listen to lies that come out your mouth. You called the Tupac estate and begged them to sue me and get that ish down. Meaning he's accusing Kendrick Lamar of calling Tupac's estate to remove the AI generated voice that he used. I don't think that Kendrick did that. I think a lot of people are very protective over our fallen rappers, and I just don't foresee them approving using Tupac, who has been dead for what, 27 years, 28 years at this point, in a rap beef, knowing that Drake, you have no ties to Tupac, let alone the culture in general. Next up, he said, it's clearly because of the boy. The honorable thing is to give me the loot. You write about F the big three. It's only Big D and there's video proof. Our son should go play in the park. Two light-skinned kids, that ish would be cute unless you don't want to be seen with anyone that isn't blacker than you. So he's throwing it back like, you like white women. Like, what are you saying, Kendrick? You know what I'm saying? We've never had any like proof of that. Like, I've never seen that. I mean, granted, he's technically married, not really, but you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, maybe it's very low key, but I did want to point on like the whole light-skinned kids part. Drake, your son's color is not Kendrick Lamar's color. Like, can we be for real? Like, stop it. And you can see that Drake is, to me, color struck. I do think he likes all different types of women, but I do feel like he recognizes the privilege that color placed him in, and that's why he's saying those things. So then he goes on and says, we get it, we got it. The blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. We get that you like to put gin in your juice. We get that you think that you Bishop and Juice. I like that one, because you know what Bishop did in that movie, you know what I'm saying? When you put your hands on your girl, is it self-defense because she bigger than you? Your back is up against the curb. You digging for dirt. You should be digging for proof. Why did you move to New York? Is it because you live in the bachelor life, proposed in 2015, but don't want to make her your actual wife? I'm guessing this wedding ain't happening right because we know the girls that you actually like. And I feel like that at the end, I was like, Drake, I gotta give you your points because that is just crazy to say. Those are crazy allegations to make, and I hope it's not true, but if it is true, I don't know who's getting all this information passed between the two parties, but that is crazy to me. And I do think it kind of makes sense to say like, okay, why have y'all been engaged for almost 10 years? I think that was a good card for Drake to pull because I want to know too, like, why is somebody your fiance for 10 years? Like, I'm sorry, but couldn't be me. So let's get into this last one, which is Not Like Us. This was my favorite one and where I'm gonna leave it at before I just give my overall thoughts. So this is a club banger that we were all waiting for. Again, Kendrick, to me, heard a lot of the people saying like his songs are one way. So he gave the people what they wanted, and now people are crip walking. People are sitting here throwing that gas. They hearing that, she gonna shake it like a red nose. It was really Cali in this joint. And I was like, I might start jerking. I might call the Rangers, the New Boys. We might start rejecting and wearing skinny jeans and velados because I was ready to dance for this one. I'm not gonna lie. So it says, say Drake, I hear you like him young. You better not go back to cell one. To any B that talk to him and they in love, just make sure you hide your little sister from him. I was like, oh, hold on. We're addressing the young girls allegations again because Drake didn't say anything about that. You know what I'm saying? He didn't say anything about that up until that point. Then he says, they tell me Chubb's the only one that get your hand-me-downs. The party at the party playing with his nose now. And Baca got a weird case. Why is he around? Certified lover boy, certified pedophile. I dropped the phone. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I dropped the phone because it's just like, I know it sounds very biased, but at the end of the day, I just feel like what Kendrick is coming with is so out of character for him, and that's why it was hitting harder. Because Drake, he's petty and I like his pettiness, but this was just crazy, never would have thought it type of stuff. So then he says, wop, 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 don't F him up, rock, 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 I'ma do my stuff. Why he trolling like a bee? Ain't you tired? Trying to strike a chord and it's probably a minor. Honey, that bar right there to me is what made it Kendrick you won. A minor, the chords, trying to strike a chord, like you're trying to say something, you're probably messing with an underage woman is what he's saying. Like he did not let off of those young girl allegations. I saw in the comments that someone said the A minor chord can also be taken as a white only, since on the piano, the A chord can only be made using the white keys. And then they said that's a 1-2 combo in a single line. And I don't play the piano. I taught myself piano, but I just play. I don't really read piano music, even though I can read music. And I didn't know that, so I guess the only chord that you could play with all white keys on a piano is A minor. Come on. This is crazy. Like, what? Then he does the They Not Like Us hook, which I feel like was that club banger. You're gonna hear that all summer long. I already know. They not like us. They not like us. They not like us. We're gonna hear that. Moving on, he says, ain't no law, you're a ball boy. Fetch Gatorade or some. Since 2009, I had this be jumping. You nakers get a wedgie, be flipped over your boxers. What's OVO for the other vaginal option? Not the acronym dig that he made up. I mean, again, my phone dropped. My mouth dropped, my phone dropped, everything dropped, the world stopped. I was like, Kendrick, I would hate to be in Drake's shoes. Next up, he says, effed on Wayne girl while he was in jail, that's conniving. Then get his face tatted like a bee apologizing. I'm glad D-Rose came home. Y'all didn't deserve him neither. From Alondra down to Central, Naker better not speak on Serena. And your homeboy needs subpoena. That predators moving flocks. That name gotta be registered and placed on neighborhood watch. I lean on you Nakers like another line of walk. He has all eyes on me and I'ma send it up to Pac. Y'all already know I'm gonna say. Let's keep moving on. And then the last thing that he said basically was, once upon a time, all of us was in chains. Homie still doubled down calling us some slaves. Atlanta was the mecca, building railroads and trains. Bear with me for a second, let me put y'all on game. The settlers was using town folk to make them richer. Fast forward to 2024, you got the same agenda. You run to Atlanta when you need a check balance. Let me break it down for you. This is a real Naker challenge. You called Future when you didn't see the club. Lil Baby helped you get your lingo up. 21 gave you false street cred. Thug made you feel like you was slime in your head. Quavo said you can be from the north side. 2 Chainz said you good, but he lied. You run to Atlanta when you need a few dollars. You're not a colleague, you a effing colonizer. Everybody say OV ho, OV ho, OV ho. Oh my goodness. Honestly, that was it. I just think that, again, that was the cherry on top to everything. And I really don't think that anything Drake will say after this will hit or stick as much. I do want Drake to drop again. And I know that he did, but what he dropped, I heard snippets. I was like, honestly, I'm over it. I think Kendrick got it. It was 2 back-to-back records that were just killer. Actually 3 if you count Euphoria, then Meet the Grams, and then Not Like Us. Unanimously, we have a champion. So moving on to my third and final point, that is the conclusion. Honestly, like I said, I think Kendrick Lamar won this one. I think Drake put up a good fight, and I think that Drake basically kind of got humbled. I feel like this is the first time that he's truly been challenged by somebody who can go toe to toe for him, and I think that this is what hip hop needed. This was an intellectual music war, and I was here for it. For those of us that are smart and critical thinkers and like to actually look at lyrics and words and verbiage and onomatopoeias and similes and metaphors and all of these different things, this was for us. People say it was for the culture as well, and I agree, but I also feel like if you actually like the crux of rap and hip hop, this was for you. So I want to thank both of these challengers for doing what they had to do, but in the end, please let me know what you think. But I think Kendrick Lamar, he won this beef fair and square. So that is it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Please let me know your commentary on my commentary down below. What do you think? What do you know? Let me know. If you haven't already, go stream all of my songs. Again, they are back on streaming. We got more music coming up this summer. Thank you to everybody that streams and supports and encourages Queen Chioma music. I got more for y'all. Y'all know I'm coming. And lastly, don't forget to follow me on all of my social media networks, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye, y'all.
Whatever I say, yeah, I gotta do on who, on you, on who, on you, on all hail the queen, QC, yeah, she is risen. Presence is a gift, so I come with the ribbon. Internet told me stop rapping, I ain't listen to them. No, I really got more bars in the prison system, right? Yeah, one beef, step into the kitchen. Murder flows, you could suspect, I am not the victim. Beat queen, D's on that bitch like we with the Pistons. Red cherry, red bottoms, I know how to pick them. Always got a secret plan, I don't do the fighting. Shorty is a secret fan, yeah, she ghost riding. Brown skin beauty with a booty, showtime. Go off on a tangent, I don't need a cosign. 12 baddies limited, I keep about a dozen. Hot girl straight up out the microwave oven. Gotta bring a chicken man before you get the stuffing. And this beat going crazy, snapping on percussion. Chioma at the top, I'm the #1 prospect. Beat from Lakia when she slid on Cosmic. Told him come here, boo, I'm trying to make your jaw stiff. I got no pics, but I wanna see your pockets. Big glossy lips, dry them out like a faucet. Big chicken knees, so I put them in a cockpit. Cooking in the studio, call me Dirty Crockett. Gingerbread baby running fast like Sonic. It's commendable, was a ceremony, but now it's a festival. New money now, so you gotta move a decimal. Presidential suite, and it's looking all congressional. I'm so delectable, pull your queen card, cause what y'all said when you heard that verse. Y'all was like, damn. Respectfully though, we on Victoria Island. Like it's gullah gullah, sun on my melanin. Working on my color bubblegum pink fit. Chew you out like hubba bubba. Need my check Friday, I'm calling you a mora soca. Chineke me, baby, I'm so fine. I damn wine, be sweet like palm wine. Now onyekele, yeah, come say hi. I see so, baby, no be long time. Go dumb on the beat, but I'm chilling with the smarty guys. Melanin militia on, go on with the army wise. Pull up with the van, he gotta go, now it's starry skies. Big body, bad black girl, I'm looking party size. Breathe out, breathe in through your nose, through your mouth. Breathe in, breathe out, man, I gotta catch my breath. Breathe out through your mouth. Waist beast thrown on my body, this ain't Mardi Gras. Roll the dice, move the piece, got 'em looking sorry, nah. I'm a queen in Queens, fire than LaGuardia. Few rap Jones with bars are not hard enough.